Okay, so we've got our second gear on. Again, we've got our second gear and first gear clutches on. We've got the lock washer and the nut on, and now ready to start with the rest. So before we forget, make sure to put your shim here on the second gear. We talked about that when we were replacing the puck. And next we will go with the clutch bell or clutch drum. That just slides right over here. It's going to spin freely. Now, most things I've read, and even the service manual says this as well, you want to lubricate the bushing right there on the first gear clutch. So what I'm going to do is just get a little lubrication on my finger here. And make sure that gets down into the holes. Now, if you can see these little holes here, what I did with while I had all that disassembled was made sure that all those bushing lubrication holes or oil holes were free and clear of debris and weren't clogged at all, just to make sure that we get the proper amount of lubrication in there. Don't want that grinding unnecessarily. So now that we've got that taken care of, we will put the clutch bell on. You'll notice it's on correctly if all this is flush here. So we look pretty good there. Now we'll go with the first gear, which is much easier to put on than the second gear. Looks like I get a little hair there. Make sure it's all clean. And then that'll just slide right down on. Now for solidarity purposes, I left this washer on the clutch bell, but if you don't have that on there, make sure you remember to put that on here. Okay, now what we've got is our reverse threaded nut, which was the cause of this whole fiasco in the first place. So we want to make sure it's nice and tight. The specs call for 25 to 36 foot-pounds, so we will be using a 15 millimeter socket here. And it looks like, there we go. And make sure that we're going lefty-tighty rather than righty-tighty because it's reverse threaded. And what I'm going to do is just go ahead and start threading that in. And it seems like there's something in there preventing it from wanting to go all the way in. So I'm going to take it out and look at it here. Put shim back. That all looks fine. I'm going to take a look here and make sure all these threads are still good. I didn't notice anything offhand, but that's where we're catching and not going all the way. And what we need to do here, since I don't have Puch factory tools, which normally would be clamping right in here and basically stop the gear from moving while you tighten it. Wasn't an issue coming off because it was already so loose, but what we're going to need to do here is figure out a way to be a little ingenuitive. So what I'm going to do, come back here behind the motor, and I've got my piston stop rope here that has served me so well for other things. I'm going to go ahead and start threading this on lefty-tighty. since the flywheel is turning from the back of the motor, it's going counterclockwise. I'm going to stick this rope down into, not the flywheel, the sprocket, and see if I can't wedge this in here so where it does not turn anymore. So let's see if this will work here. Might be a little too soft, but we'll see. What I'm going to do is use this trusty wrench here first while I'm working back here, and then I'll go ahead and use the torque wrench. Oh, it's a little bit too big for 15 millimeters. I'm just going to grab my static 15 here. Is pulling that rope right through, so that's not going to do it. So now, I suppose I'm going to have to grab something metal, like a wrench. Now let's see if we can get a little more out of that guy. Yeah, nice. Okay, so with that wrench in there, what I'm doing is just sticking the open end of an 8 millimeter socket down in there, and making sure one of the sprocket's teeth go in here. That way when it hits the side of the magneto, it has nowhere to go. And we're not applying that much pressure, so it should be fine going down in there. Go ahead and hand tighten this. Grab the torque wrench. Since it calls for 25 to 30 something, I think I'll probably go with 30. So let's unlock that, set it to 30. And make sure that we're going lefty-tighty. Yep, we are. And tighten this bad boy up. So let me not waste your time with the rest of the ratcheting, and I will finish tightening that up, and we'll go from there.